Corrected version. Let's get one thing straight. Nobody thought this was actually going to happen. Not Beyoncé, not Jay-Z, not even the guy who spent years fighting for it, Remier Satweight. Yet here we are. A courtroom just did what no tabloid rumor or diss track ever could. It cracked the Carters' golden empire wide open. Half. That's how much of Jay-Z's fortune the court just handed over to Remier, the man claiming to be his son. And this wasn't a symbolic gesture. This was real enough to send shockwaves through not just Jay-Z's business portfolio, but Beyoncé's financial world too. Behind closed doors, insiders say Beyoncé is unraveling. Not with the poised glamour we've seen on red carpets, but with full-on tears, real heartbreak, and the kind of frustration that comes when everything you built starts slipping through your fingers. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about her husband's past catching up to him. It's about the entire Carter brand, an empire stitched together from music, fashion, real estate, and billion-dollar deals, now being ripped at the seams because of secrets buried deep in Jay-Z's past. And here's what makes it worse. This isn't about cheating or a quick PR nightmare. This is legal. Final. On paper. A judge looked at the facts and decided that Jay-Z owes Remier a slice of the pie. Not hush money. Not backdoor settlements. Half of everything, including the things that touch Beyoncé's name. Think about that for a second. The houses, the joint companies, the tours, the catalog royalties. All of it's so interwoven that even if Beyoncé wanted to separate herself, untangling those finances would be a mess of epic proportions. This is where it starts getting really dark. Because while the world knows Beyoncé as the queen of calculated grace, someone who never lets a single crack show in public, the people closest to her say she feels trapped, completely blindsided. This isn't just the ghost of an affair. This is someone else's child, now with legal power over her family's wealth. She didn't sign up for this. And from what's being whispered, she might be ready to walk away. The rumors of divorce aren't just gossip column filler anymore. They're being floated by people who actually know her, legal teams, business partners, advisors. There's talk she's already begun separating her finances, drawing hard lines around Parkwood Entertainment, Ivy Park, and everything she built with her own hands. She's not doing it out of spite. She's doing it to survive. Because here's the raw truth. Beyoncé might love Jay-Z. She might have forgiven him for a lot. Lemonade made that painfully clear. But love doesn't pay legal fees. And love definitely doesn't protect you from losing your legacy when the government starts slicing up joint assets. For someone like Beyoncé, whose image is everything, this is no longer just a relationship issue. It's a brand crisis. And don't forget, this court decision opens the floodgates. Remier may not be the only one. There are whispers, names, old claims that were once dismissed, but now seem a little more believable. There's even talk of Jay-Z paying off others in the past to keep quiet. If more people come forward, if even one more claim sticks, this isn't just a family drama. It becomes a full-blown takedown of the Carter legacy. And right now, Beyoncé looks like she's standing on a battlefield she never agreed to fight on, watching the empire she helped build start to collapse. Jay-Z isn't just facing legal chaos. He's watching the carefully built myth of his life fall apart in real time. For decades, he positioned himself as the ultimate success story, the street-smart hustler turned billionaire mogul, untouchable in business and culture. Rock Nation title, Armandanda Brignac. Every deal, every partnership was crafted to showcase control and legacy. But this court ruling exposed something deeper. That control was always more fragile than it looked. Now, it's being pulled out from under him one piece at a time, and the empire is wobbling. This isn't just about losing money. It's about losing reputation. Business partners don't like scandal. They don't like instability. And they definitely don't like being linked to lawsuits involving secret children and hidden relationships. Word is, some of Jay-Z's longtime collaborators are already backing away. Deals are being paused. Boardrooms are tense. Investors are asking questions. No one wants to be tied to a crumbling icon, no matter how many Grammys he's won. And then there's the added weight of new allegations, ones that have nothing to do with Remier. A lawsuit was recently amended to name Jay-Z in a civil assault case tied to another industry figure. The story is dark, unsettling, and exactly the kind of headline that kills trust in corporate boardrooms. Whether it holds legal merit or not, the mere association has people spooked. With Remier's victory already shaking the Carter brand, this new development feels like gasoline on a fire. Meanwhile, Beyoncé is running damage control behind the scenes, quietly, surgically. Insiders say she's taken meetings with legal and financial strategists, restructuring assets and putting protective walls around her companies. It's the kind of calculated preparation you make when you're expecting the storm to get worse, not better. She's protecting Ivy Park, shielding Parkwood Entertainment, and tightening control over her music rights. She's not waiting for Jay-Z's problems to bleed into her empire. She's drawn the line before the courts do it for her. This all leads to one inevitable question. Is a split already in motion? Because when you move money like this, it's rarely just about money. It's about independence, about freedom, and about making sure when the headlines come crashing down, you're not standing in the rubble with someone else's mess on your hands. What's wild is how few people saw this coming. Jay-Z has dodged accusations, rumors, and legal threats for years. Most assumed he'd always stay one step ahead. But the courts finally caught up, and the decision to hand over such a massive piece of the pie wasn't based on fame or legacy. It was based on failure to respond, to acknowledge, to act. Silence, in this case, cost him everything. Now the internet is buzzing. Fans are split. Some defend Jay-Z, insisting this is all a misunderstanding or legal overreach. Others are pointing fingers, calling it karma, claiming this is the moment the truth finally caught up. And while debates rage on social media, behind the curtain the real drama is unfolding. Accountants digging through decades of financial records, lawyers crafting airtight exit plans, and an empire once considered indestructible beginning to crack at every seam. The story isn't just about one man's alleged son or one woman's heartbreak. It's about power, how it's gained, how it's lost, and what happens when even the most iconic figures in culture are forced to face the consequences of their past. Jay-Z always said he was a businessman, but now he's the business under investigation, and no amount of branding can shield you from a truth served in court documents. Beyoncé has always known how to move in silence. It's part of what made her legendary. While others chase headlines and drama, she curates her image like a luxury brand, controlled, polished, untouchable. But this time, silence may not be an option. The court ruling didn't just shake Jay-Z's world. It dragged her into the spotlight, whether she liked it or not. Her name is on joint accounts. Her signature is on company documents. Her face is tied to every inch of the empire that's now being dissected in legal filings. And the clock is ticking. Fans are beginning to ask the hard questions. How much did she know? For how long? Did she see this coming? And decide to ride it out quietly? Or was she blindsided just like everyone else? The speculation isn't kind. Some think she stayed for the sake of the brand. Others think she was planning her exit for years. Whatever the truth is, the perception is now out of her hands. Behind the scenes, the whispers won't stop. People in the industry say she's already moved key assets under her own corporate umbrella, property titles shifted, music catalogs reassessed, touring contracts restructured. It's like watching someone wrap their crown jewels in velvet and tuck them away before the house burns down. She's not screaming or tweeting. She's preparing. And then there's the emotional weight. Beyoncé isn't just a mogul. She's a wife, a mother, a woman who has already weathered public betrayal once before. She made lemonade out of it, literally turned pain into a cultural moment. But this isn't something she can flip into a metaphor. This is legal war, legacy-level fallout. And if Jay-Z really has other children out there, real or alleged, the betrayal doesn't just hit her heart. It hits her future, her kids' future, her name. The worst part? It might not be over. Rie's win is already emboldening others. There's talk that another woman, Letitia, who once claimed to be Jay-Z's daughter, might come forward again. Her claims were never taken seriously before, but now, in this climate, with this precedent, All it takes is one court to listen. And if she gets even a sliver of the recognition Remier just did, it opens the door for a flood of claims that could bury what's left of the Carter brand. For Jay-Z, this is a nightmare scenario. Every dollar he ever moved in silence might now be tracked, documented, and potentially exposed. Secret settlements, backdoor hush agreements, if any of it exists, it could all surface. Discovery in court doesn't play favorites. And business partners are already getting cold feet. Agencies, platforms, luxury labels, they're all watching this closely. No one wants their name dragged into a bloodline scandal with billionaire stakes. The empire they built together was always more than music. It was real estate, fashion, tech, sports, streaming. It was influence, power, a dynasty. And now it looks like that dynasty is crumbling from the inside out. If Beyoncé walks away, it's not just a divorce. It's a declaration that she's not going down with the ship. What happens next could define the next decade of celebrity culture. If she speaks, the world listens. If she acts, the industry follows. All eyes are on her. Not as Jay-Z's wife. Not as one half of a power couple. But as a woman choosing whether to protect her legacy or cling to something that might already be lost. The Queen may not say much, but every move she makes now could rewrite the rules of what it means to be loyal, powerful, and legendary.